Hello, and welcome to Holston Valley Unitarian Universalist Virtual Church. My name is Spencer Conco, and I'm glad that we can get together even though we cannot yet be together. Because today is Valentine's Day, our minister, the Reverend Jeff Briere, explores some aspects of human love. To accompany the line of the Chalice, a poem by Emily Dickinson, where she imagines herself at sea, finding refuge in her lover. Wild nights, were I with thee, wild nights should be our luxury. Futile the winds to a heart in port, done with the compass, done with the chart. Rowing in Eden, the sea, might I but moor tonight in thee. When the poem first appeared in 1891, Emily Dickinson's publisher was afraid that the public would be shocked by its eroticism. We hope that you are not too offended. We all have many different reasons for gathering here each week, but we have this much in common. We will work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. For the prelude today, our mighty fine choir brings us a Humbird song, When We All Get Together. It was a challenge for the choir, so they're very grateful for Will Robertson and his arrangement.
On the day we are together again, on the day we are together again, I will pull you in close like a hoop with no end. On the day we are together again,
we will share the same table again. We will share the same table again. I will pass you the salt, the candlelight will bend when we seat at the same table again.
We will walk round the block hand in hand. We will walk round the block hand in hand. We will stop for a snack at the taco truck stand. We will walk round the block hand in hand.
Someday we will go back to work. Someday we will go back to work. May we be among people who respect our work. Someday we will go back to work.
I will
together again. On the day we are together again, I will pull you in close like a hoop with no end. On the day we are together again. On the day we are together again.
We will sing Loving Kindness next. Please light a candle to dispel the darkness, to honor someone or some event, or to bring light to a memory.
My name is Jeff Briere, and I am the minister of this virtual church. I hope that you are safe and well. Please wear a mask in public and keep your distance from other folks, and when it's available to you, get vaccinated. Robert Fulghum is a Unitarian Universalist minister, but he is known more widely for his book, Everything I Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. In the mid-90s, Fulghum sat in a Seattle coffee shop with a sign on the table in front of him that read, "Tell me a short love story and I will buy you a coffee and make you famous." What came of this was a book, now out of print, called True Love. And I bring you this morning a few of those love stories. One of the most attractive aspects of love is its constancy. We derive great comfort and security from knowing that our lover or the ones we love will be around for the foreseeable future. We use words like forever, always, steadfast, and true. In a small but important way, we define ourselves by those we love or those who love us. I am Kate's husband, I say. She's my wife. We are who we are by virtue of whom we love. And so if I stopped thinking about myself as Kate's husband, I'd have to re-identify myself. I'd have to reimagine myself. And that is a hefty task, one which I don't want to undertake, one which I cannot imagine. So it's not surprising that the constancy we feel in loving reinforces our sense of who we are and underscores our identity. And that's something we want to continue. This story is about that constancy, about devotion, the devotion that lovers have to each other and how that supports their identity.
10 years ago, I invited my mother for a visit. She loved to travel, but my 83-year-old father would no longer travel anywhere from their California home. So she declined, saying, no, he would never leave me. A few months later, my mother was devastated by a severe stroke, leaving her paralyzed, unable to speak, not responsive to our questions, but she was usually aware of my sister and me, and most especially of my dad. She now smiles at us when we arrive, and sometimes at our little jokes and family stories. But she is unable to care for herself in any way and has been in a nursing home ever since the stroke. And so has my father. No, not as a resident, but as a daily, without fail visitor. Most of every day he is there, feeding her, massaging her wasted muscles, reading to her, telling her of any news from friends and family, rubbing her back, singing little songs, and showing her family photo albums, watching over her in every way he can and helping her to be more comfortable. My dad is 88 now, and he has become a legend in the nursing home because of his devotion. He has been with my mother every day since that terrible evening, the night of their 59th wedding anniversary. I see her look at him, and I know that she knows he would never leave her, as she wasn't willing to leave him either, even for that short family visit. So, this is what my dad has taught me about devotion and caring and compassion and love and duty, and he has never been one to give advice, only the example of his life.
Well, love will make you do nutty things too, that's for sure. What has such power over people that they would risk what they have for what they imagine might be? What is so wonderful that it would dispel common sense, induce recklessness, and still be attractive?
Passion.
Passion?
Passion. That's a polite word for sex.
Oh.
It's real easy to confuse love with passion. The symptoms are nearly the same. I'm sure that someone before me has compared passion to hot pepper. Passion can sure heat up a loving relationship, but passion alone will not let the flavor of love come through. I have confused love with passion, haven't you? Learning the difference between them, it's not easy, because you lose your perspective in a passionate embrace. Well, this story is about a man who lost his perspective, and he had to hit himself upside the head again to regain it.
I have reached the age when I wonder what happened to people that I knew when I was young. There was one special girl that I met at a dance when I was in the Navy. We had a one-week love affair and I never forgot her, but I was shipped out before I could tell her where I was going, and we lost touch. After the war, I married someone else, had kids, a career, and all those things. Well, I got to thinking about this girl and I wanted to find her, so I hired a private investigator to look for her, and he found her. She was living in Palm Springs, and since I live in Los Angeles, I thought I'd call her up and maybe go see her. She was really glad to hear from me, especially after I explained why I had disappeared. So I went to see her, and we had a wonderful time, we did, and it felt like we were kids again. She was just as attractive to me as I was to her. She said that life was short and we ought to spend a weekend together while we still have time. I went back home with fire in my heart. When I looked at myself in the mirror, however, I didn't look so good. If I was going to spend a weekend, a romantic weekend, I would need some decent clothing. I'm an old man, you know, with old man's habits, and I've always slopped around the house in a pair of raggedy old house slippers and a bathrobe I've had forever. I couldn't go to Palm Springs looking like that. I went to the store and I bought 2 new pair of nice pajamas, a silk bathrobe, and some new house slippers. I got some new underwear and some new socks too. And when I got home, I began to unwrap my new romantic wardrobe, and my wife walked in. She was really pleased because she was tired of the way that I dressed, especially for bed. Now I had to lie to her about why I bought new pajamas, and I had to wear them too. I felt awful. I've never worn pajamas, and I'm not used to them. That night when I was trying to put them on, I got one leg in the pajamas and then got the other leg stuck in the waistband, and I hopped around until I lost my balance. I fell backwards in the bathroom and I hit my head on the tub. I knocked myself cuckoo. I cut myself and I got a concussion. The next thing I knew, I woke up in the hospital, and I couldn't remember why. My wife brought me several new nightshirts to replace my pajamas, but I couldn't remember why I had pajamas in the first place. And then slowly, it all came back. I called my old girlfriend to explain, but she didn't believe me. She said it was the last time I was ever going to stand her up again, and she slammed the phone down. It's just as well. I'm getting used to sleeping in nightshirts. Old love and new pajamas, that's a dangerous combination.
There's a huge spectrum on which human love can appear. At the personal end is passionate erotic love, and there you'll find Orpheus and Eurydice, Romeo and Juliet, Abelard and Eloise. At the political end of the spectrum is agape, brotherly love, love of humanity, and there you'll find Mother Teresa, Albert Schweitzer, and Mahatma Gandhi.
And in between those extremes are a million loves. Parental love, puppy love, young love, old love, secret love, missed love, tough love, lost love, free love, first love, last love, mad love, true love, and muskrat love. We're lovelorn or lovesick. We are lovebirds building a love nest, sending love letters, having a love child, and drinking love potions. But one thing is for certain. Love is not the exclusive province of one man and one woman. There are as many versions of love as there are human beings.
I chose love over safety and societal acceptance, and it's the best choice I ever made. After graduating from college, I went alone to South America to travel and work. 3 months into my trip, I met and fell in love with a Chilean named Carlos. We had a brief and exhilarating love affair, but I returned to Berkeley ready to do the traditional thing, find a nice Jewish boy and have the big wedding and make my mother happy. And then I fell in love. I fell in love hard, crazily, head over heels, unable to do anything but think about how in love I was. We spent 2 glorious weeks lying in bed, talking and talking, connecting with our minds and our bodies, and the only problem was that my new love was a woman. When we met, Jill and I had been casually dating a man, and like me, she swore off women. My mind said, Kate, this is not a nice Jewish boy. Why make life hard for yourself? But my heart said, Kate, you'd be an absolute fool to let her go. Well, I listened to my heart, and thanks to my heart, I've never been happier. Jill is my best friend and my lover. She is my co-conspirator, my confidant, and the most natural person I know. She taught me what it's like to grow up working class, and I taught her how to win at Scrabble. Collectively, we've been through 8 years of medical school, 3 years of residency, deaths in the family, times of extreme bliss, and times of just trying to survive. Our relationship is ever evolving, and it's not always been easy. The windshield of our car was painted with, "We kill lesbians and we'll get you too." I've struggled against my own homophobia, but it's a struggle I've never regretted. Well, in 1 month, our first child will be born.
For a benediction today, my favorite Valentine and I bring you a light-hearted poem from Edward Lear. This poem, originally written for children, nicely describes the free floating feeling that infuses your life when you are in love. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat.
They took some honey and plenty of money wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar.
Oh, lovely kitty, oh, kitty, my love. What a beautiful kitty you are, you are.
You are.
What a beautiful kitty you are.
Kitty said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Oh, let us be married, too long we have tarried, but what shall we do for a ring?"
They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the bong tree grows. And there in a wood a piggy-wig stood with a ring at the end of his nose.
His nose?
His nose, with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for a shilling your ring?" Said the piggy, "I will."
So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a runcible spoon.
And hand in hand, on the edge of the sand,
They danced by the light of the moon.
the moon.
The moon.
They danced by the light of the moon. Thanks so much for attending our virtual service today. We hope to greet you at our coffee hour following in just a few minutes. To join us there, please check out our website at HVUUC.org. You'll find directions under the News and Events tab.
Our time together is nearly finished, but our work is not done. May our spirits be renewed and our resolve strengthened as we meet the challenges of the week to come. Please help me close this service now. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. My name is Danielle Garland, and I'm happy that you could join us for this service. Please come back whenever you like. We will post another virtual church service next Sunday. Please contact the minister or the caring team if you or someone you know needs help during this time. Our services are recorded in advance, so current events may move faster than our ability to address them in a timely fashion. However, you can find up-to-date information on local events, social justice issues, inspiration, and content for all ages on our Facebook page. To close the service, Penn and Wendy bring us an original composition of theirs, Side by Side. And as you make your way through the week, remember that you are good, you are loved, we all need a little work, and we're all in this together. Nothing left to say but, yay church!
A day is a moment wrapped in time when I'm yours and you are mine. Now we are floating down the years, sharing laughter, shedding tears. And I never saw it coming, never knew that love was greater than a child's dream. And the longer we're together is a comfort that we face the weather better sung by two than one. And I never saw it coming, never knew that love was greater than a child's dream. And the longer we're together is a comfort that will face the weather side by side. When we together start to fly, we no longer need to try. Then, as ripples on a pond, let our love flow out and on. And I never saw it coming, never knew that love was greater than a child's dream. And the longer we're together is a comfort that will face the weather side by side. We have our moments on this ride, and we still sit side by side. Side